Hi, this is the story of promotion with Joseph. We just did part 1 last week, and this week I'm choosing to keep out what we did last week. So the God of many colors, the dreams on both sides, and then Egypt as a faraway land. So I'm going to start with reminding the kids what we did last week. I wonder if anyone remembers what this was used for. Does anyone remember what Joseph dreamed about? Does anyone remember what country this is in? We're going to tuck away our thoughts, put them away, and when you're ready, I'll begin. Once in Egypt, Joseph became a servant of a man named Potiphar. Potiphar was a captain in Pharaoh's guard, and God was with Joseph and made him successful, and his master loved him. One day, Potiphar's wife noticed that Joseph was handsome, and she tried to get Joseph to notice her back. But Joseph was loyal to his master and faithful to God. He fled and left his coat behind him. Potiphar's wife became jealous, and she lied about Joseph. Her husband believed her. He locked Joseph up in prison. Even in prison, God was with Joseph. He showed him love and favor, and one day, 2 prisoners had dreams, and they told them to Joseph, who was able to explain their meanings. And then 2 years later, Pharaoh dreamed too. He asked his wise men, "What does this mean?" And no one knew. But suddenly, Pharaoh's servant remembered Joseph. "When I was in prison, there was a man who helped us interpret our dreams. You should find this man and ask him." So Joseph was brought before the Pharaoh. "Can you tell me the meanings of the dreams I had?" Joseph said. "Not I, but God can do it." Pharaoh told Joseph every detail. "I was standing at the bank of the Nile when 7 plump cows came out from the river to eat grass. Then 7 skinny cows appeared, and they ate the big cows. And another dream like it. 7 ears of corn, full and healthy, and 7 ears withered and thin. The 7 thin ears swallowed up the good ones. What do you make of that?" Joseph told Pharaoh, "Here's what God showed me. 2 dreams of Pharaoh are one and the same. 7 years, Egypt will have good crops and good harvest. But following 7 years will be years of famine. God is warning you now to make wise decisions. While the harvest is good, store grain for years of famine." "This is wise," Pharaoh said, and he chose Joseph to be one to carry out the plan. Next to Pharaoh, Joseph was made second in command. Through the years of plenty, Joseph collected grain and stored it up for later. And when the famine came, Egypt had food. Meanwhile, the famine reached all the way to Joseph's family. "There's grain in Egypt," Jacob said to his sons. "Go and see if you can find food." So the brothers of Joseph went to Egypt, while Benjamin, the youngest, remained at home with his father. 10 brothers bowed before Joseph, governor of Egypt. But they didn't realize who Joseph was. Joseph recognized his brothers and kept it a secret. "Where are you coming from? Are you spies?" he asked them. He gave them food, but with this condition: "Bring your youngest brother back to Egypt. I want to see him." Jacob, their father, said, "No, it's too dangerous. Benjamin must not be allowed to go." But after a while, he relented because the family was desperate for food again. Finally, the 12 brothers were together in Egypt, and Joseph served a royal banquet, and at the feast he made himself known. "I am Joseph," he told them. At first the brothers were frightened, remembering the terrible things they had done. But Joseph assured them, "What you meant for evil, God meant for good." Thank you for listening to my story.